In a serene valley, where the sun painted the landscape with golden hues, two trees stood side by side, the mighty oak and the slender bamboo. The oak, proud and towering, had roots that delved deep into the earth, anchoring it firmly against the fiercest storms. Its thick trunk and sprawling branches seemed to boast of strength and permanence, a fortress against the elements. The bamboo, on the other hand, swayed gracefully in the breeze, its slender stalks bending and flexing, seemingly delicate yet undeniably resilient. As seasons changed, the oak remained steadfast, its leaves turning vibrant shades of red and gold in autumn, only to fall and leave it bare in winter. It withstood the harsh winds and the weight of snow, its limbs heavy but unyielding. The bamboo, however, danced with the wind, its green shoots bending low but never breaking. It thrived in the rain, soaking up the downpour, its roots shallow yet widespread, allowing it to absorb moisture and nutrients from the surface. One day, a fierce storm swept through the valley, darker than any the trees had ever experienced. The wind howled like a wild beast, and the rain fell in sheets, drenching the earth. The oak stood tall, determined not to yield, its branches creaking under the strain. The bamboo, however, bent low, its stalks swaying and twisting, giving way to the force of nature. As the storm raged on, the oak began to feel the pressure. The winds howled louder, and the ground trembled beneath its roots. The oak's thick trunk, once a symbol of strength, began to crack and splinter under the relentless assault. In the midst of the storm, the bamboo continued to bend and sway, its flexibility allowing it to adapt to the chaos around it. It felt the wind rush past, but instead of resisting, it embraced the storm, moving with it rather than against it. As the hours passed, the oak fought valiantly against the tempest, but the strain was too great. With a deafening crack, the mighty tree succumbed to the storm, its once proud form crashing to the ground. As dawn broke, the storm passed, leaving the valley drenched and battered. The sun peeked through the clouds, illuminating the wreckage of what was once a stronghold of strength. The oak lay sprawled on the ground, its branches scattered like broken dreams. In stark contrast, the bamboo stood tall, its slender form untouched and still swaying gently in the morning breeze. It had survived, not by resisting the storm, but by yielding to it, adapting to the chaos that had unfolded. In the days that followed, the valley began to heal. The fallen oak became a part of the earth, its wood nourishing the soil, creating space for new life to emerge. The bamboo, now the tallest in the valley, continued to grow, its roots spreading further and deeper, drawing strength from the very storm that had ravaged its neighbor. It offered shelter to birds and small creatures, its flexibility allowing it to provide a refuge in the aftermath of destruction. As time passed, the bamboo reflected on the lessons learned from the oak. It understood that strength was not merely about standing firm against adversity, but also about knowing when to bend and adapt. The oak had been a symbol of resilience, yet it had fallen because it could not change its way of being. The bamboo, with its graceful flexibility, had thrived because it had learned to sway with the winds of change. Seasons came and went, and the valley transformed. The bamboo flourished, its grove becoming a sanctuary for wildlife and a source of inspiration for those who passed by. People marveled at its grace, often stopping to admire how it danced in the wind, a testament to the power of adaptability. The story of the oak and the bamboo became a parable whispered among the villagers, a reminder that true strength lies not in rigidity, but in the ability to bend without breaking. One day, a young girl visited the valley. Drawn by the stories she had heard, she wandered among the bamboo, feeling its gentle sway, and listened to the whispers of the leaves. She learned of the oak's grandeur and its tragic fall, and she pondered the lessons of resilience that the bamboo embodied. Inspired, she began to visit the grove regularly, finding solace in its presence. The bamboo became her friend, teaching her the importance of flexibility in her own life. As the girl faced challenges, difficulties at school, misunderstandings with friends, and the pressures of growing up, she remembered the bamboo's lesson. She learned to adapt, to bend when the winds of change blew fiercely, and to find strength in her ability to adjust her course, rather than resist the inevitable. In moments of turmoil, she would return to the grove, standing among the bamboo, allowing its gentle sway to remind her that survival often requires embracing change. Years passed, and the girl grew into a wise woman, carrying the lessons of the bamboo with her into adulthood. She faced life's storms with grace, knowing that flexibility was not a sign of weakness, but a pathway to resilience. The valley, once home to the mighty oak, had transformed into a vibrant ecosystem, thriving under the watchful presence of the bamboo. It became a symbol of hope, a reminder that in the face of adversity, it is not the strongest who survive, but those who can adapt, bend, and sway with the winds of change. And so, the tale of the bamboo and the oak tree lived on, a narrative woven into the fabric of the valley, inspiring generations to come. It taught that in life's unpredictable journey, strength is found not in unyielding resistance, but in the beauty of flexibility, the art of bending without breaking, and the enduring spirit of resilience that allows us to thrive even in the harshest of storms.